Friday, October 17th, 2025, micro NASDAQ futures 1 minute chart. In this video, I'll cover a 3-wave move into a 5-wave reversal, poor structure as defined by the ability that 4 candles cannot be connected 4 candle bodies, and how that poor structure is the start of a trend, and then my trade. So this 1 minute candle right here, this kind of yellow one, is where the market opens and then price goes up and pulls back and then starts going back up. So where can I see poor structure? So when I look at this candle right here, right where my cursor is, the crosshair, you can see I can connect this candle body, but as I look right, I can connect this one, but I can't connect this one, right? So in this little zone from the bottom of this to the top of this, I can only connect 2 candle bodies so far. This one, and then finally this third one. So let's move this over here, this rectangle, and we'll place this right at the bottom of that candle body and right at the high, not the high, but the candle body at the top of that candle body there. So we'll change the color on this. This then becomes, this poor structure then becomes a target. And when you look down here in this zone, you can see, okay, from the bottom of here, I can only connect this candle body and this candle body, and then the bottom of that would be the top of this candle body. So we have another poor structure zone there. Whoops. Need to duplicate that. Okay. So I'm drawing that triangle from the bottom of that candle body right to the place of that top, and here we can only connect 2 candle bodies. So as time progresses throughout the day, these would be areas that we would expect price to come back down and fill. Then I'm going to scroll to the right and show you one more poor structure. And here, when price started pulling back, we can connect this candle body and this candle body, and then as we look right, we can see that price doesn't actually come back up and fill with 2 more candle bodies. Yes, we get a wick up into there, and that's a good sign that price is reversing. So what do I mean price is reversing? That price often creates poor structure when it's leaving a zone. So down here, we could only connect this candle body and this candle body, and price goes up. That's poor structure, and price is leaving that zone, and it tells you it's leaving the zone by leaving poor structure behind. Same thing here. When price created this poor structure and passed through it, we can still only connect 3 candle bodies, and we're passing through that poor structure zone after we had already created another poor structure zone, and price is leaving both of those zones. And then you might say, okay, well, I can't connect any candle bodies here at this point in time, and until you can connect here and here and here. But yes, that does leave poor structure, basically, where you can only connect 3 candle bodies. And if I were to quickly just show you this one, what I'm thinking is, okay, where can I only connect? I'm going to use the bottom of this little doji upside down hammer right there. So I'm using the bottom of this one. So in this particular case, and I'm using the top of, let's say, this green candle, so we need to shrink this up a little bit. right? So you can see from the bottom of that doji, the bottom of the body, to the top of this body green candle, and it's not drawn perfectly. You can see we can connect one body, two body, three body. We can't connect any other bodies, but as we follow this through and extend this, you can see that price does come down and fill with a fourth candle body and then a fifth and so on. It fills with many others. So that is, the power of seeing the pore structure and using that pore structure as targets for your trade and also for getting into your trade. So up here, when the Nasdaq had made essentially from down here 24,660 all the way up to 24,900 and almost 60. Yeah, I think it did tag 60. That's a 300 point move. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe we'll have a pullback, and I'm just patiently waiting for that pullback. So as price comes down, I'm hoping, right, that we get a move back up. We get the move, and I have this pink color candle that's part of my script, and so I'll show you my trades, or my trade. It's only one trade. That's turned on. I got to extend my time frame just to get this trade in here. It's going to take a minute to reload this data because I had loaded 10 days worth of data. Thinkorswim has this issue where it often doesn't show your trades, so you have to extend how much time you're showing in order for the query to actually return the results that you want. Okay. So when I saw this pink candle get created, and then it was just a wick, and no bodies came up. There was no preceding bodies come up to fill this pore structure area. I got short on this next candle at 24,920.25. So basically, right there, right at this level. Short right here. Now my target was my first target would then be that first pore structure zone, which was down here, this yellow zone to connect four candle bodies. And as you can see, price did come down all the way down, and I didn't execute this perfectly. I got out at 24,820.25, so I took 100 points out on this particular move. The reason for me getting out and not holding for more was because this is a 100-point move. It appears very algorithmic in its structure, and I was concerned about a larger bounce all the way back up into this area or above this, and I didn't want to sit through that. Now let's look. So here was, just quickly, I'm just going to document these waves. So here's the wave, and I'm not going to document the bottom of the waves because I don't want a long video, but here's this wave 1 up, right? And then top of that is wave 2. And then this would be wave 3. And then wave 3, the top of this, as price starts to pull back down, then this starts creating waves all the way down. So we had a 3-wave move up. And that third wave then becomes the beginning of the 5-wave move down. So we'll change this one to show that this is our 5 waves down. So wave 1, right? And then we get the pullback, and then this is the top of this body, whether it's this body or this body, it doesn't matter at this precise point in time. So that's our wave 2. Then, oops, let's scroll back over here. Price comes down, pulls back up, and this ultimately is a failed wave because this candle bodies over here go higher, but they are also intersecting, which is a good thing. So it didn't really push with a new independent candle body above this. So we'll just document this here as wave 3. And this, actually, I need to document the bottoms. So this wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5. Now let's just see if these particular pore structure areas actually filled. And you can clearly see now that these pore structure areas filled with multiple candles passing through, multiple candle bodies passing through. And down in there, it just fills with a couple more candle bodies, and then ultimately probably there is some pore structure maybe right around it here, and as it's leaving, creates pore structure as it's leaving this zone. So I didn't spend a lot of time talking about the waves, what makes up a wave, but it's basically higher highs and higher lows as defined by candle bodies, candle body over candle body or candle body under candle body. You can watch my other videos for more information on that. As you can see that I only basically traded this from what would be the top of the beginning of wave 2 down into, and I didn't even get the bottom of wave 2. Doesn't really matter. I've closed the order down when it hit the pore structure zone, and so that's a good trade. But there were targets below, so holding all the way down into that wave 5 would have been resulted in about another 100 points in profit. I didn't do that, so you can see that I still have much to work on in my trading. Thanks for watching. Bye.